this ad, you'll receive $10 off your initial inspection cost. Call Bats to Rats today at 402-781-8691. That's 402-781-8691. Bats to Rats.
Your home is your empire. Protect it with Empire Fence. Get a free instant quote with the online estimating tool at empire-fence.com. See an upfront estimate with no hidden fees. An Empire Fence can provide privacy and improve the appearance of your home. Keep kids and pets in or out of your yard. Increase security and add value to your property. Visit empire-fence.com now to view the stylish and maintenance-free possibilities for your home and get a free instant online quote. Let Empire Fence protect your empire.
If you're sick of catering from the same places every month, it's time to switch things up. Mulberry Barbecue is perfect for business lunches and dinners, family gatherings, holiday parties, wedding receptions, rehearsal dinners, and so much more. Delivery and full service options are available, and they can cater for anything from 10 people to 500 people. Call them at 402-937-7114 to hear their menu options and get your catering booked today. Mulberry Barbecue, located at 11th and Cornhusker Highway.
This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. Also online at theticketfm.com.
On the internet.
KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket.
Automotive Solutions is Lincoln's one-stop shop for all your vehicle needs, from vinyl wraps to engine repair and maintenance. Automotive Solutions offers fleet services, as well as printing and graphic design for vinyl applications, plus installation of vinyl for boats, trucks, cars, and anything else you want wrapped. Perfection is their standard, and they never settle for less. Call today at 531-249-5600 or go to automotivesolutionslincoln.com to learn more. That's Automotive Solutions, 2024 Southwest 5th Street in Lincoln.
Not many businesses can say they've made it 60 years, but Madsen's Bowling and Billiards can. With 12 bowling lanes and the biggest pool room in Nebraska, where else would you go to enjoy an afternoon or evening? There's great daily specials like $2 Tuesdays. Games of bowling, shoe rental, draft beers, and tacos, all just $2 each. Have a delicious burger at EJ's Lounge before or after your bowling or pool session, and you'll leave satisfied. Madsen's Bowling and Billiards at 47th and Dudley.
What's going on, fans? This is Lexi Rodriguez, four-time All-American at Nebraska and now proud member of Omaha's newest professional team, Love Omaha Volleyball. League One Volleyball is bringing the heat this year. Don't miss your chance to see Olympians, national players, and national champions right here in Omaha from now through April. We can't wait to see you cheering us on in the stands. Visit lovboma.com to buy single match tickets to see me and Love Omaha Volleyball in action this season. Go Big Green!
Ever wonder what it's like to work for a company that actually cares? At Lincoln Industries, they're revolutionizing local manufacturing while taking care of their most valuable asset, their people. When you join their team, you'll enjoy comprehensive health coverage, wellness initiatives that work around your life, and benefits that show they're serious about your future. Plus, you'll be a part of a proud manufacturing tradition right here in the community. Don't just take their word for it. Visit LincolnIndustries.com to see all their current opportunities and find out why their people love calling Lincoln Industries home.
Coming at you live from the heart of Lincoln, America, this is What's Brewing with Chancellor Brewington on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. Here is your host, Chancellor Brewington, powered by the Teammates Mentoring Program.
All right, welcome back. It's back. What's Brewing? Chancellor Brewington. Got the former Husker tight end to my left as always, and not just for 1 hour, 2 hours. 9 to 11, Monday through Thursday.
Come on.
I think you got Fridays off, don't you?
I think I don't know. We're gonna have to check this on the check the schedule on the break. Come back to with you. But yeah, 2 hours on the radio, late night. We'll be taking it home. I think the next live show will be early break, right?
Yeah, I sure as hell ain't sticking around another hour to take it home. So I think it's on us to send out the delivery message here. But yeah, you guys got 2 hours. Harrison Arns, Chancellor Brewington, 402-464-5685 as always.
Yeah, it's gonna be fun, man. It's gonna be fun. I see a vision for it. I see a lot of interaction with the late night, whether you're late night driving, late night viewing, or you catch it in the morning, right? You catch it in the morning. But no, I'm excited, and it's much. I'd say this: radio midday can be tough sometimes.
It's different. It's a different ball game.
Because I'll tell you why. There's not a bunch that comes out up until like 11:30, right?
Yeah, you're working with yesterday's news a lot of times.
Yeah, and so now nighttime, you kind of get to process. Okay, like of course, Luka trade, and we'll get into that and all that stuff. But we hired a new special teams coordinator.
Yeah,
right. So we get to talk about that, and you kind of hear different opinions, and then like there'll be like news that happens. Like what me and Bach used to run into all the time was there was always a story 30 minutes after the show. It would be like, oh, such and such just got fired or such and such transferred, and we'd be like, what the heck? But nah, it's awesome, and I'm definitely grateful. Going from 1 hour to 2 hour, we gonna be doing this, and I'm sure me and Harrison's conversations sometimes just they're like they just go, and sometimes we don't really know where they're going, but we just flow with it, and this is kind of what late night radio is all about, is just entertaining, but also informing a little bit, but also keeping it fun.
Absolutely. And yeah, I will say, I'd catch a lot of the day shows. Best part about the night stuff is I catch a lot of what's the day crew on about, because I'd be sitting at home, see what turn on Brewington, see what you guys are talking about. Go to Strixie, he's got some takes every now and then. So yeah, all that's a lot of fun. This is a good day to start the 2 hours because there's so much to talk about.
Oh my gosh.
And I haven't talked to you about any of it. Because obviously weeknights, busier schedule. You were on Thursday occasionally if time availed for it. So where do you want to go?
I think the biggest one for me is the Luka trade, of course. And I think there's so many layers to it. And I know Mavs fans they're hurting right now. I think they need like a peace rally.
Is it fair to say it kind of feels like what the Giants had to go through with Saquon?
I think it's worse.
I think it's worse.
I think it's much worse, actually. I think it's much worse. I think Luka, you can say, regardless of what was happening this year, does it really matter? Like, let's be honest. Let's talk purely fans, right? This is something that everyone can relate to. Does it really matter how well Luka was playing this year? And if he was healthy and whatever. If you're looking 5-10 years, big picture, the kid's what? 24? 25?
Yeah.
Same age as me. He's 25 years old. When do guys usually hit their top-notch prime? 26, 27, 28.
27, 29 is usually that safe.
29. Okay, cool. So in 3 years, we should be – he's already – you can make an argument he's a top 5 player in the league, right?
You can make an argument. He's been in MVP races.
Come on.
Yeah.
You can make an argument. So it's like you trade him away. What do you get? Okay. AD's what? 30, around 33, I think. 32.
He's 32.
32, about to turn 33. Okay, cool. You get him over. Where has Anthony Davis's career been? Okay. He had a really, really strong, I would say some of his stronger years were his last years in New Orleans, and COVID championship had a really good spike, right?
Really,
really,
honestly, this year.
Yeah, and this year.
Those are the three I could chalk up as you get an AD, and he's just not hurt. That's literally all it is with him, and that's the problem.
But you look on the last 5 years. Okay, let's look last year up until COVID, or back until COVID. He had an injury problem on the 21-22, 22-23 injury, 23-24 injury, 24-25 no injury, but he's playing good. Okay, so that's a very, very short term. That's a short term
sample size.
Yeah, sure, but it's a short term trade. If you're looking at if you're looking for the next 2 to 3 years, or even next 5 years, who's going to get you more rings, more better chance at rings? I would say Luka. Right? I would say Luka. I would still say Luka over Anthony Davis. Why? Because he's inconsistent. If anyone has been a Lakers fan over the past 5 years, I used to come in here every day talking about Anthony Davis. Me and him have problems, right? Now I don't have those problems with him anymore. I hope he does his best, of course, but now I got Luka on my team, or the Lakers, right? That's my team. That's my team. That's my team, right?
All right, boss.
Now we got Luka, and I think obviously big man conversation. We're gonna have to talk about that because I'm not really sure what the full vision is, what the picture is. Maybe we move Bron to like the 4 now, and
you kind of have to, right?
Yeah.
Otherwise, what the hell are you doing with Luka?
Yeah, I don't know.
You're gonna have him stand on the corner while LeBron does the playmaking.
And one thing we struggled with in the past is defense. And I mean, you can make an argument that Luka is top 5 worst defenders in the league.
How do you feel about LeBron also finding out in the middle of dinner?
He found out middle of dinner.
Family dinner. He had no idea. So now you got and like, so we're saying let's push LeBron to the 4 because we're getting Luka. LeBron didn't know this was happening, as far as I know. As far as the tea leaves were showing, is he going to be one? Like what? Now Luka's going to be. I'm playing. You got to figure that out.
Yeah, I mean, you talk about usage rates of the basketball. I mean, you can put.
Because LeBron's still going to bring the ball up court plenty of times throughout the game.
Yeah, but I mean, usage rates, like, meaning I need the ball in my hands. I would throw Steph in that conversation. Definitely LeBron. I would say Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. I would say he would be in that conversation. And then at my 4, I'd probably say Luka. And so it's like, how do you distribute the ball enough and allow these players to still be themselves, knowing that they need the ball. They need the ball for rhythm. They need the ball to create plays. And so it's kind of, I would guess that just like when Anthony Davis and LeBron linked up for the first time in 2019, when they linked up, the first thing LeBron said is that our offense has to be funneled through AD, right? It was kind of the same thing, that the transition that happened from 2011 to 2012 in Miami Heat.
Yeah.
Dwayne Wade said, we have to funnel this through LeBron James, right? He's the young spring chicken and I'm kind of older, and he's just the greatest player ever, right? And so LeBron, I think, acknowledged that in 2019 and said, AD has it. I think offensively, if we funneled it through him, it will open up, create shots for Danny Green and all our shooters, right? End up working, right? Okay, so now philosophy, keep that same philosophy. LeBron now has Luka as a teammate. Okay, now is the philosophy, we funnel it through Luka. Okay, well, now LeBron has to play off ball and probably as a wing or a 4, right? Okay, well, if he goes to wing, he's probably going to take some years off his body.
They probably go small balls, when I'm guessing.
Right.
Because you get LeBron, you pull him out to the 5, like,
yeah,
he's going to have some mismatches if you got Luka dominating.
Yeah, and then that poses a question: do you want your 40-year-old phenom to be playing center, right, against these big bigs in a physical league, right? Or I would say for the fives, it's going to be physical, right?
Not as physical as it used to be, though. That's the difference about today's NBA.
Well, no, that's not the thing. It's more so like, it's just a 5. A 5 is more physical than a 2, or playing, you're playing against Fred VanVleet.
You're asking LeBron to really put an emphasis on rebounding.
Yeah, I mean, you're going to have to box out Joel Embiid and Anthony Davis and
close out Giannis when he's looking to crash the boards. And like LeBron,
right.
That's where I'm having a hard time seeing.
That's dirty work.
Yeah.
And so it's like, okay, so you're going to expect LeBron to do dirty work. Now the question is, are you expecting to bring someone else in? Do you even have anyone on the table?
They were able to keep Reeves, which is incredible.
That's great.
They were able to. They give up.
Did Rui leave?
Did they give up a first-round pick as well?
Yeah, the one that they didn't, the 2029 one that they did not want to give up.
Yeah, that one hurts.
That hurts.
It's probably that or Austin Reeves. I'll be honest. Like, they had to give up something there. So,
and Austin Reeves he's a stud.
He's good. He's going to be one of those assets where if it doesn't happen this year, the longer you keep him, he might just get more and more valuable.
Yeah. And it brings the question to, is like, okay, how happy is LeBron about this situation?
That's where I don't know. Because I want to ask you this. LeBron, correct me if I'm wrong, was totally setting up the stage for AD to be the successor, constantly talked about it.
Yeah.
And was always setting up AD
even this year
to be the Laker.
Yeah.
Once he's retired. And then just Rob Pelinka didn't see the same, clearly.
You know what's even crazier? AD 2.5 weeks ago, or I would say about 3 weeks ago, came out in an interview and said that he needs a big and that he likes to play at the 4.
Yeah, that's probably what it was. They're like, enough of this guy.
Yeah.
like, are you kidding me?
Like, he came out and said like what he actually needed, and like,
do you remember when we won the title when you played the 5 AD?
You said what?
Do you remember when we won the title and you played 5 AD? Like, I'd imagine that's what they tell him.
Yeah.
Like, remember when it worked? When you were healthy? Like, that's all it is, AD. You just gotta stay healthy.
No, they didn't win the title when he was a 5.
So in that bubble, he was playing the 4?
Yeah, they remember that JaVale McGee and Dwight Howard.
That's right.
5.
That's right.
And so that's what I think that's what he was trying to allude to, is like,
well, that's the problem is like, That's tough to find. JaVale McGee's out there for a cheap contract.
And what, a 37-year-old Dwight or 35-year-old Dwight Howard who's willing to. First of all, it was the willingness of those two. That's what made it work. It was JaVale McGee was able to be late in his career, already won a championship.
Yeah, he's been in so many playoff runs. He knows what he's doing.
Yeah, Dwight Howard was at one point the best player in the NBA, no doubt about it. And so those two come together in this great expression of humility and of put the team first. And I mean,
and Marc Gasol, I think, on that roster. Did you have Marc Gasol too? You have another 7-foot-old that played great perimeter defense.
That was next year.
Yeah, next year you got, and Marc Gasol was actually fantastic. Yeah. I love those centers and I don't know why more teams do it. Like I guess especially if you want to do the whole AD thing, go and find those 1-2 year centers, those older centers that they know the next contract comes with the rebounding and defense. They understand like no one's gonna take a flyer on this guy's offense anymore.
Yeah, I
don't understand why more teams, because I always say that's the problem of guys like Joel Embiid. Phenomenal player, one of the best at that position. It's so hard unless you're going to play a Jokic style center. Having direct impact on wins and losses late in games is so hard to do at the 5.
The Jokic center is the hardest thing to duplicate. I mean, when I watch it, and this is I don't have too much basketball experience. I mean, I played in high school. I would say I'm a fan of the game, but just understanding schemes, having played it, I think basketball is the easiest game to relate to because you can go and play it at the park, right? But you see Joker, he gets tunnel screens, or he gets elevator screens, I should say, to the top of the key for a 3.
Yeah, because he's shooting 40% on the year.
You're 5. Imagine what's the 5 on the Bulls right now?
Right now, they don't even know.
Okay.
It's a mad scramble because I'd have to go through. I think it might be Collins now.
I'm sorry
because they just traded a bunch of people. We'll talk about that trade too.
I'm sorry.
So no, it's a rant. I'm gonna put that rant away for a little bit because it does. I've done it before already.
Okay, I'm sorry. Wait, we'll get it. We'll get
Collins. There's your answer.
Collins. So Collins has to change Jokic for a 3. Okay, so what happens? Okay, he gets stuck. You switch it. No, you can't switch it because now your guard is on your big is guarding a guard, right? And so he has to follow it, and that's why there's so many problems. Then Jokic can do so much, and guess what? Set a screen for him. He's at top of the key. Guess what he can do? Get someone open too. He finds an opening, all these different places. So it's definitely a tough ball game to play with them. So he's an anomaly, and I think he'll be for a long time. Although I feel like there's always that person that's going to come right after. You know, like we always. I mean, there's never going to be a person that breaks this record, and I guarantee Victor Wembanyama, if he stays healthy,
he'll get a blocking record at some point.
I mean, he's averaging like 3.9 blocks a game. It's ridiculous. But
real quick, I do want to correct. I thought we got rid of Vucevic. He's still there. We still got the center for the Bulls, Vucevic, who's one of the worst contracts we've ever had. We still got it. So I want to correct that. And we still got an underperforming center.
I don't know if you guys can hear this at home, but the passive aggressiveness in Harrison's voice indicates that he's not too happy with what's going on in the Bulls organization.
Yeah, okay, and we'll just do it now. We're just heading down that road. Let me pull up the good old trade here. My whole beef with all of this, and why I get pull this up.
Lonzo Ball is still there, right?
Yeah, and I'm happy to see it. The guy's healthy. He's
playing good defense.
Weirdly, one of their best assets. He's shooting the ball well, 3-point shot. He's getting better. Like 16-minute restrictions for him. I think it's actually getting bumped up more and more. But obviously with Lonzo Ball, they're still trying to be careful with it. They're definitely, I think, looking to trade him, but I don't know anymore. I thought he would have been part of a package trade, but I guess there's still a lot of red tape around it. But the problem I have with the Chicago Bulls is they're in this quote-unquote rebuild process, but they don't want any first-round picks for whatever reason to do so. They think that rebuilding a team requires no additional picks. So, apologies. They got one extra one via the Spurs in this trade. This trade is a 3-week trade. Which, another thing we got to talk about, De'Aaron Fox is now the Spur who's going to get the tutelage of Chris Paul, and we saw what that did for Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. So I think we're going to see a new version of De'Aaron Fox. But the Spurs get Fox, Jordan McLaughlin, The Kings receive Zach LaVine, and we'll talk about their plethora of first-round picks. And the Bulls receive Zach Collins, Kevin Werner, and Trey Jones in a 2025 first-round pick via the Spurs. I don't even know how good that pick's going to be.
I don't get why you did that then.
Because you get Zach Collins, Kevin Werner, Trey Jones. What's not to see in the Spurs 2025 first-round pick, which could be absolute crap, depending on what this year looks like. Because they're towards the bottom of the West, but there's, they're not. They're in a bunch. Or they're at the bottom, but if they win 3 games in a row, they'll jump, and all of a sudden be in the middle. So how good is that pick really worth having? And what bothers me is then you look what the Kings did. The Kings are like, we're not going to win a championship. We need to rebuild. This is what you do. The Kings get Zach LaVine, a 2025 first-round pick, a 2027 first-round pick, 2023 first-round pick, 2025 second-round pick, 2028 second-round pick, 2028 second-round pick. And these picks, the picks ownership, and so they're going to draft well. The 25 is a Hornets, so that's going to be gravy. You're going to get your pick there.
Gravy.
Yeah, Spurs 2027. Wait and see. Timberwolves tough 2020 or 2031. It's far enough away. You just don't know. 2025, the Bulls, second round pick. You like that though. The Bulls are going to have a bad record more than likely. Nuggets, tough, not great there. But then another 2028 second round pick via the Bulls. So you got some the Hornets one's gravy.
Right.
You're going to get a good pick for that one. And the second round picks via the Bulls are good. Spurs, Timberwolves, Nuggets, all kind of hard to tell. They're a lot more further out there. But how are you rebuilding a team and not getting any picks? We've stripped all of our players and gotten nothing but role and rotational players with no picks. I don't understand.
Yeah, you guys have a plethora of really good, or I would say decent role players.
Yeah,
that have came through there the past 5 years.
And that's all we do.
Caruso's, the Cody Whites,
Jimmy Butler at one point in time this year. We move on from him. We had it's killing me. Norwegian guy, Scandinavian. I'm blanking on it now.
Whoever
White,
he is.
White stretch forward. I think he might still be with the Jazz. Great player though, and he played okay for the Bulls. Lauri Markkanen.
Yeah.
We got rid of Lauri Markkanen too.
All-star, right?
Yes.
1 year, yeah.
We're so bad at keeping the role guys that are worth it.
Yeah.
And then we trade away our superstars for no picks. We have no plan ever. It feels like for the Chicago Bulls. So that's my whole problem with this. It's you got rid of Zach LaVine for Zach Collins, Kevin Werner, Trey Jones, and a crappy pick.
So is there I'm trying to think how much Zach LaVine's contract is compared to those 3. I mean, did you match it with those 3, or you still have room to?
I'm sure I didn't match it.
You saving up for the
My whole point is, even if you're saving up, you have Zach LaVine.
Right.
To me, it's not even if you're getting rid of Zach LaVine, I can understand it.
Mm-hmm.
Right? This team isn't winning. Lonzo Ball is healthy now, but let's just be real. That's not enough. We don't know if he'll ever reach the heights he was ever supposed to, and you're still on a limit restriction. So if you want to do all this to make the math work, it's fine. You got to get some picks. It's my same beef with Luka Doncic. If you're the Mavs, you better win in these next 2 to 3 years because that's your window. You didn't get any picks with it. You got a bunch of old guys, and now you got AD, and you got rid of your face of your team who's young and hasn't hit his prime. So you got to go win. The Lakers did it right, and I'll quick give you your flowers. Lakers dominated the trade with the Pelicans back in the day.
Yeah.
To understand what they did, the Lakers got AD, and they got rid of Kyle Kuzma, Lonzo Ball, Josh Hart. Did they give any picks in that one as well? I don't know if they did. I think it was just straight up players for player. Because Lonzo Ball had a really high ceiling.
I want to say we did give him something, though.
You might have. It couldn't have been too high because those young players at that time, outside of Josh Hart.
Brandon Ingram was a dog.
Oh, yeah, and BI, of course. So, really high ceilings.
Yeah.
But they did that. They go get the championship, so immediately validate it. And then they turn that trade into Luka Doncic.
Yeah.
Think about how crazy of a trade. that is A+ from Pelinka.
Yeah, and I think Lakers won.
Yeah, I do too.
I think Lakers won, and I think Mavs lost. I don't really see the vision there.
Because this team, because we can say the Lakers won because the Lakers were not going to win a championship with this roster, right?
Yeah, and
even if they had some tweaks to it, I don't think the AD LeBron thing was ever super consistent outside of the bubble run.
Yeah, I don't think it was the AD LeBron show that caused them to get there. I think it was the Danny Greens, the Rajon Rondos,
Yeah, that's right.
Dwight Howard, the JaVale McGee. I think it was those role players along with the KCPs, the Caldwell
Pope III.
Yeah,
he did it for the Nuggets too. Like he's just one of those rotational guys. It's huge.
Yeah,
Every
I
team
think
he
it's
goes on.
it was the emergence and the consistency of the 3-and-D guys, the guys that can shoot the three ball and can play some defense, right? And I think Rondo had a really big run. I mean, playoff Rondo, we saw him in full effect. I think our rebounding and the energy of that team was kind of just like one of those like match made in heaven type things. Like it was like you can't really replicate it. It's a bunch of older guys mixed up with a few young guys. You had, I think Austin Reeves was on that team.
Yeah.
And so like you have some young guys, but for the most part, I mean, this is an old roster, and they all have great chemistry, and that's so rare. And they have that I would say that was the combination formulation for that team. So you try to rebuild that, and then AD isn't hurt. I mean, is hurt, and you try and they. I see what they're doing. They're bringing Austin Reeves has developed into kind of this off guy that can play off ball, but can also bring the ball up the court when LeBron's not in, and can kind of shoot the three and make some plays. You bring in Rui Hachimura. I don't know if is he still. I think he's still on the team. I think that would be a good addition for the 4. He can kind of play some defense. Inconsistent at the 3, and then I know you bring in Jared Vanderbilt, and he's kind of supposed to be that 3-and-D guy, and been hurt and never really panned out, or hasn't panned out thus far.
Jackson Hayes trying to figure out some magic there, and he's always been freaky athletic and IQ wise not always there with like in terms of bad fouls. And I know I've seen LeBron get pissed at it. Right. I know I've seen it where it's like you got to read what LeBron's doing. He's trying to set you up for the easiest 2 points in your life, and you're just not seeing it.
Yeah.
So that's the problem with Jackson Hayes is can he get to that high IQ level? The same thing that made the guys like JaVale McGee so successful.
And then you had what's his face? You had D'Angelo Russell.
Yeah, where'd he get sent to?
I forget, but it's this thing. It's this thing where
you sent him back to the Nets. That's right.
Yeah, that's right.
you guys drafted him, sent him to the Nets, took him back, or no, sent him to the Timberwolves. And then the Timberwolves sent him to the Nets, and then you guys took him back. I'm blanking on this. How did this go?
I want to say I think we sent him straight to the Nets.
And then the Nets to the Timberwolves?
No, what about Golden State? He was at Golden State last, I think. So I think he went Nets, T-Wolves, Golden State, and then I think he
was at Golden State?
Yeah.
That's crazy. I don't know. I completely forgot. Man, D'Angelo Russell, a well-journeyed man. I had no idea. All right, we got to throw it to break, though. Don't go anywhere. What's Brewing with Chancellor Brewington? It's back for 2 hours this time. We'll talk to you in a little bit.
Nebraska Veterans Aid is here for veterans and dependents facing unforeseen financial emergencies. Get assistance with food, fuel, shelter, clothing, transportation, and even funeral and medical expenses. If you're a veteran facing a financial emergency, apply for Nebraska Veterans Aid through your county veteran service officer. Learn more at veterans.nebraska.gov/NVA. Sponsored by the Nebraska Department of Veterans Affairs, aired with the Nebraska Broadcasters Association and this station.
Looking for a financial partner that truly makes a difference? Modern Woodman is a member-owned fraternal financial services organization. We can help you plan for all stages of life, from protection to saving to retirement. We also offer member benefits, social activities, and volunteer opportunities to help your family and community.
I'm Sean Erickson, your Modern Woodman representative in Lincoln. Call me at 402-483-6515 to start the conversation.
Modern Woodman of America, touching lives, securing futures.
Rico here with HIS Auto Care at 70th and Van Dorn, letting you know HIS is a great place to bring your vehicle for service. With superior service bumper to bumper, we'll treat your vehicle like it's your mother's. Doesn't get any better than that. So call 402-488-8934 and HIS Auto will make you glad you did. 5% off, mention this ad, and for sure your mother will be proud you called. 402-488-8934, HIS Auto Care, 70th and Van Dorn. God bless you.
Get rid of pesky critters once and for all with Bats to Rats. Their expert team is here to help you reclaim your home. No more sleepless nights caused by crawling critters or flapping wings. Bats to Rats ensures a safe environment for every family member. Check the website at batstoRats.com for amazing offers. And if you mention this ad, you'll receive $10 off your initial inspection cost. Call Bats to Rats today at 402-781-8691. That's 402-781-8691. Bats to Rats.
Load up on meat and more this winter at the Mercado by Certified Piedmontese. This week's special through February 11th is $2 off burgers, limit of 2, 20% off sauces and spices, and 5 pounds of 75-25 ground beef for $20, limit of 2 while supplies last. Locations at 84th and Havelock, 30th and Yankee Hill, and now 85th and Old Cheney in Lincoln, or 168th and Maple in Omaha. Get to the Mercado today for the best meat in town. The Jerky Bowl has kicked off at Smoking Gun Jerky of Nebraska. From now until halftime of the big game, every online order gets you entered into their incredible giveaway. The grand prize is a 30-bag jerky sample pack, $225 value, while second place is a 15-bag sample pack, while third place is a Be Mine jerky box. Perfect for Valentine's Day. Order now at smokinggunjerky.com, and if you enter promo code EARLY, you'll not only get 10% off your order, but also be entered twice for the drawing. It's the Jerky Bowl at Smoking Gun Jerky of Nebraska.
Wrestling fans, it's time to elevate your game, just like Stevens & Smith Construction does for your concrete needs. As your full-service concrete contractor, we deliver solid results every time. From singles to doubles, fighting for inside position to scrambling reversals, we know how to pin down quality and slam expectations. Stevens & Smith Construction, a proud sponsor of Takedown Tuesdays on 93.7 The Ticket, where Husker wrestlers bring you all the action. Don't stall. Stevens & Smith Construction is here to help you build a concrete foundation for the win. Check us out at www.stevensandsmith.com, because stalling is a penalty and winning is the only option. Give your furnace a break with the help of Heartland of Nebraska Windows. Heartland of Nebraska Windows offers a free estimate, full window replacements, all vinyl triple pane windows, and a lifetime warranty of everything, while still keeping their prices affordable. Sounds too good to be true, right? Heartland of Nebraska Windows is locally and family owned with their own team of installers. Give the window experts at Heartland of Nebraska Windows a call today at 402-430-3852 or visit them online at heartlandofnebraskawindows.com. Elevate your home or business with the help of Heartland of Nebraska Windows today.
Hi, Sean Callahan here for Cobble Chevrolet GMC, and we wanted to give a special shout out to all of our great customers, thanking you all for a record-setting year in 2024. Now let's get the new year rolling with some big savings. Right now at Cobble, we have some of the biggest discounts in the area with over $12,000 off list price or 0% APR on select new models. So stop on in the dealership or hit us up online at cobblecars.com to get true low country overhead in action. $12,000 off list or 0% APR right now at Cobble. So please stop on in or visit us at cobblecars.com. You'll be glad you did.
Landmark Implement, your John Deere dealer, invites you to their annual sprayer clinic at the Buffalo County Fairgrounds in Kearney on February 5th and 6th. This hands-on event offers expert training on John Deere and Hagie sprayers, covering topics such as machine maintenance, spray tip selection, and exact apply technology. New this year, classes on autonomy preparation, see and spray, and variable rate operation. Don't miss this opportunity, February 5th and 6th in Kearney. Learn more at landmarkimp.com/events.
Back to What's Brewing with Chancellor Brewington on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. Powered by the Teammates Mentoring Program.
All right, welcome back in. Second segment, second of 6. What's Brewing? Chancellor Brewington. Of course, Chancellor Brewington, former Husker tight end. To my left, 402-464-5685. That is the Sergeant Heyman text line. Talked a lot of NBA on segment number 1. I don't think we quite got through it either. And real quick, I do want to make just some notes on the journey road of D'Angelo Russell as we're discussing when he played for the Warriors. Brewington was correct. It was 1 year in 2019. But you guys drafted him. You kept him for a couple of years. Then this guy, Lonzo Ball, appeared, and you're like, he looks better than what we got. You drafted him. You sent him to the Brooklyn Nets. He goes to the Nets for 2 years. Warriors 1 year. Timberwolves think they have some success. Keep him for 4 years. They find Anthony Edwards. They move on. Lakers, or actually, no, they didn't find Anthony Edwards yet, did they? Was that the reason they moved on from him, or was it just inconsistent play?
I think it was inconsistent. There are some problems going on.
You're right.
Yeah.
He was loose turnover
Yeah.
problem, and is just in really bad 3-point shots. As I think I remember a lot of the problems with him. And then you guys brought him back for 3 years. How was it? A 3-year second time dating D'Angelo Russell.
I think we had some bright moments, and I think it kept everyone the hope alive.
Really? I thought you guys hated him always.
Well, I think there was some. I mean, you think about try to nitpick. I mean, when I guess it gets
That's
bad.
what I'm saying.
It gets bad when you start
Yeah.
thinking about, oh, this game. When you start thinking about games, I think it gets bad. But
felt like the Lakers got lonely, took their ex back, and then immediately regretted it. And then you sent them to the Nets. You sent them right back to where you sent them the first time. Well, the Lakers did D'Angelo Russell.
Well, I mean, he probably has connections out there. Probably still has the same, knows the same realtor, and so maybe we're setting him up for success in the outer world.
He is happier. The worst thing I don't ever want to hear from a Brooklyn Net is what surprised me about D'Angelo Russell's press conference. Things I'd never want to hear. He's like, yeah, I took for granted how loose and free I was able to play here, basically paraphrasing, like, yeah, just let me do whatever the hell I want on offense. It's great. The Lakers wouldn't let me do that, so
that's not good.
Yeah,
that's not good.
The Nets troubled. I don't think
it's also like
what the Lakers get out of that.
What, sending him there to the Nets,
or was the contract just expiring? He was on the Lakers for 3 years.
I think it was expiring, but I think what we're trying to get out of him was 3-point shooting we're missing. If you look at the chief objective the past 4 years, trying to kind of form the same situation of the finals run in COVID. I mean, we just need 3-point shooters. We need guys who can take 3-point shots, good 3-point shots, and make them, of course. And I think if you look at LeBron's career, I'm just saying, if now I don't think you can do this. I think it's over with, Harrison. I think
the 3-point shooters.
Well, I think it's how can we get Bron back to a ship? I think it's over with. Meaning, Bron isn't the same player, so the same formula won't work anymore. He's a completely different player with a completely different skill set.
You still surround him with 3-point shooters.
Right. But I guess what I'm saying is that if you look, I was about to say this, you go back to the Heat and you look at their roster and what they did. I don't think LeBron, you put that same roster in front of LeBron, not specific names, but same skills types. I don't think he's able to do the same thing. I think there needs to be a Luka in the situation. Now that I'm thinking about it, there needs to be some type of true ball handler. I think more of and I think the Kyrie was probably the closest one to where he's at now, meaning like a guy who can really take things over. And when he comes off the court, that I think the biggest thing is the offense has gone to dog water, as the young kids say, when he comes off the court. And it's like, who is going to take this load? And you thought for a minute, Austin Reeves looks really good, but I don't think he's ready yet.
Mm-hmm.
And then you're like, who can we go get? And obviously you lose AD, but you get Luka. And I think long-term it'll work out.
Yeah, what's the ceiling on Dalton Connect?
Crazy. He just hit a slump on just his 3-point shooting.
Yeah.
But I mean, you talk about talent-wise and just that mentality and able to play defense too. I mean, you're talking about I believe 6'8", 6'9" guy, maybe 6'10".
Most polished for sure. And that's why I like the move for the Lakers, getting him out.
I don't know
how
how
he played really well, but I haven't been watching a ton of Lakers, and I knew he was in a slump, so I wasn't sure.
I don't know how he felt so far. It's first year in the league. I'm sure after All-Star break, he'll probably start kicking in gear before then and after then too. But Foreman, you got Austin Reeves, Luka, and Dalton Connect. I mean, you might have 3 coldest white boys in the league.
Yeah,
DiVincenzo, he's tough.
You would think the Lake Show too would be. Well, I don't know where I'm going with that, so I won't.
But it's just like, is it? Come on, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I just think forming, if the guys gel, if the guys mesh, if the guys get along, you're gonna win. You're gonna win a lot of games.
Yeah, and you know what that reminds me of? Did you watch Husker Hoops last night? Beat Oregon on the road. They gelled. They finally, for the first time, I was watching a team. It felt like they all knew what their strengths and weaknesses were. And that has been so frustrating to watch with this team. But they were able to beat Oregon. And a lot of it, to me, was just like the fast break communication. They shot terrible from 3, but they still found a way to beat Oregon. And
it's terrible all year.
It's been
like 25%, right?
Wooster I don't get Wooster at all. His form doesn't look bad. Dude hits the side of the backboard, though, sometimes.
That's unacceptable.
Yeah, and, he'll airball him, just barely hit the front of the rim, and then, the next thing, he'll just nothing but net. So I don't know what his problem is in his shooting. He's the guy that I don't want to tell stop shooting, because when I see it shoot, I'm like, the form isn't bothering me,
right,
but the result is driving me crazy. Obviously, Andrew Morgan, he's not going to take it. Braxton Mia, certainly not going to take it. So you're looking at Bryce Williams. Juwan Gary, who's having a good year, but really not that great of a 3-point shooter. And you're really relying on Connor Essegian to bail you out and make most of those 3-point shots. Him and Bryce Williams, really.
Right.
And then Sam Hoiberg, you feel confident, but you just never know. He's kind of put him in the Jeff Green camp, right? If it's there, that's a hell of a extra weapon. If it's not there, you're kind of playing him situationally.
Right.
But, he got 37 minutes last night, Sam Hoiberg starting. So there's also, do you keep Sam Hoiberg in that starting lineup just simply for what he's able to do on just defensive energy?
Is that a question to me?
Yeah. Do you like
to
that
be honest,
move?
Harrison, I've never watched a Nebraska basketball game in the past year.
You're probably watching Creighton or something. That's crazy.
Well, it's just I guess I don't watch TV that much.
Husker Hoops is I'm very passionate about Husker Hoops because Creighton basketball is just
That's why you fill me in
me.
every time we get on here and talk. I'll be like, okay, I get a pulse on what's going on.
Yeah.
Or I talk to Austin Norman about what's going on. I get the stat sheet, but I don't know. It's something about college basketball that I'm not a fan of. It's tough. It's tough, Harrison. It's hard to watch.
It's on. There is, absolutely. That Illinois game, I'll be honest. I'm so happy Nebraska won. Gritty win. Nobody deserved to win that damn game. That was.
He said nobody.
Illinois shot 10 for 42 from 3.
Okay.
They couldn't hit a damn thing to save their lives. They were turning it over like crazy. They had 1 assist heading into halftime. An overtime win for Nebraska. That is a team that did not show up to play. You have to bury them. Now, luckily, I think they took the confidence of that when they got to Oregon. They got the lead. Yes, Oregon fought back a little bit, but they had the confidence to continue. No, we're not going to stop scoring. We're not going to play conservative, kind of like what we did versus Illinois. They kept attacking, so they got the win. But again, that Illinois game was just incredibly frustrating because I wasn't sure. I was happy they got the win, but just with the way it looked, I'm like, I don't know if they're going to have enough to make a run because they got 4 quad 1 wins now. So they're sitting pretty. They should be a tournament team, with 4 quad 1 wins. And as long as they don't completely piss away the rest of the schedule.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, there was a real point. I just didn't know if this team was going to gel. Bunch of new transfers as well. So you can't blame it all on Fred Hoiberg. There's a lot of transfers. It takes time.
Let me ask you this question. Who do you think will get there faster? Nebraska basketball get to a Final Four or Nebraska football get to a national championship?
That's a good question.
To the Final Four, not to the championship game.
Yeah.
Final Four.
I'd hope so. I thought you were going to set the bar nice for me, being a March Madness win, but we can say Final Four. No, I'm going to go football.
Really?
I do think the college football playoff has definitely helped. And college basketball is, we see it with Duke all the time. When was the last time Duke went to a Final Four?
I couldn't tell you. I don't watch college basketball.
Actually, it might not have been too long ago. So maybe that's a bad example. I won't use them. But, when you're talking about Nebraska, the team that hasn't even won a March Madness tournament, we're talking about them getting to the 4, and you said a championship game, not winning it.
Yeah.
If they keep the same playoff format, I'd say Nebraska football. Because, say you're Nebraska, you actually do have a good year. Dylan Raiola, is playing well. Hell, even this year, talent-wise, I'm not going to sit here and say they're better than Ohio State. But if say what Penn State did, and they draw SMU and Boise State, and then you just got to win one big game, one potential upset, you're in. So there's an easier road. Where if you're Nebraska, you're going to get to the Final Four, guaranteed. You're going to have some major upsets you're going to have to pull off.
Right.
Football, it might land favorably to where, despite you being a lower seed, you're going to be favored in all your games up until the semifinal.
Speaking of football, they just got a new special teams coach.
I like him. He's not new to us.
Yeah, of course. Bo Pelini staff, 2008
to
10. Now, this is my number one thing with special team coaches. Number one thing. You gotta either be you gotta be on one or two spectrums or both. The both is where you get good ones. The first one is you gotta be high energy.
Yeah.
High energy. Because you get in the special teams meetings, usually they're the first thing in the morning. Usually they're the thing that nobody wants to sit through. Nobody came to the University in Lincoln, Nebraska to be right guard on the punt team or to be a gunner on punt team or to be on KOR kickoff.
Yeah, you're going to have an easy job convincing one guy to get excited.
Yeah.
And maybe the kicker.
Yeah.
That's the rest of the guys. It's a real job.
Yeah.
Because I always use the high school. dude, in high school football, I had to be the wall. That sucked. Nobody wanted to do that. Every
Yeah.
time we practiced it, we hated it.
Yeah.
And again, that's high school. At the college football might be different.
No, everyone hates it.
But it's
NFL,
not
everyone
a thing.
hates
Yeah,
it.
it's not a thing. It's hard
It's
to get
not
players.
it's not an attractive position, and it's not fun. The practicing and the reps and the technique is not fun. Usually you're either using your body as a shield for someone else, or you're trying to go through someone else's shield. Like it's very simple, but the techniques are very complex, I would say, and it's not fun. It is not fun. The cut-ups you watch are the same things. The drills you do are the same thing. The terminology and the vocab are the same thing. It is not like offense and defense where you kind of get to experiment and use your true gifts. Like, no, it's not the funnest thing to do. So when a coach makes it fun, when a coach makes it fun, now you got engagement. Now people are sitting up. Now people aren't falling asleep in the meetings. Now people they don't really want to admit it sometimes, but they kind of like special teams meetings. And then all of a sudden they like the meetings, and then they see it on the field and they kind of like the drill work, right? Because then you get acknowledged by a coach that you like, and you kind of, build a relationship with the coach. And now all of a sudden you start playing a little bit for the coach, right? And you like the coach, you want him to keep his job, and that, you're representing him on the field. So then there's different connections and bonds that are made, right, through that. The second thing is detail. How detailed can you be as a coach, right? How fun can you be, and how detailed, or I would say fun, more so exciting, and get the energy up, energetic.
Yeah, just like a teacher, right? You're gonna go to class and this teacher's just horrible.
Yeah, like your special teams coach is like your art teacher. Like it should be engaging. Everyone should be into it. Like it shouldn't be this thing where it's history and you're like learning about the Persian War and you're like, who cares? This does not affect me. Like, well, it obviously did, but
yeah, I know what you're saying. You're gonna have kids in there just like that.
Yeah,
they're just like,
exactly.
I'm tuning out.
That mentality,
until this is over,
right? And then all of a sudden they go to art, and there's like some type of engagement. The teacher's kind of whatever, they're into it, right? So that's what you want to be. Second thing is detail. Like, how detailed can you be? Because I've had a special teams coach in my college career, and it wasn't at Nebraska, so
I can take a swing at which school I won't say.
Yeah. Or I would just say my whole college career.
Okay.
Leaves the door open. But to where it was so much energy and energetic fun that there was no detail. I mean, Harrison, we were just having fun.
Just running around.
We were just like music before the meetings. We're shouting and screaming on when guys get, big hits and whatever. Energy through the roof. Love special teams. I mean, he would, guys would come in and music would be playing, guys would be dancing for special teams. It'd be at we would practice late in the day, so it'd be like 4:30.
Oh,
right.
okay.
So we had 4:30 meeting, about like 5:30 practice, right? So later in the day, guys went through school, already had a lift, not energy's low, right? Usually that's nap time, right? That you're winding down for the day. We have to get up for practice. Special teams meeting always does it for you. And so we got on the field. Harrison, there are so many mistakes. I mean, it was cool until it wasn't.
Until you get on the field.
Yeah, until especially game time.
Yeah.
And then it's like, wait, this doesn't work, right? But I've been around coaches, the one that works on the ticket, and it's a good energy. Guys are engaged. Guys kind of want to be there, right? It's really hard at this level to get 5-star and 4-star and 3-star guys.
Today,
yeah, it's just hard to get them to buy into that. To understand and conceptualize for themselves, right?
But it's just a way out now if they don't want to do it.
Well,
that's a reality.
Well, it's for themselves to understand that if I make this block, we win the game.
Yes.
And forming that bond or that connection, that's really hard for coaches, right? And I think it's hard for players because you have this limited consciousness and you don't understand all of football, right? You go into college and you think you understand. You really don't. You don't understand. So I think getting those coaches that bring the energy and are detailed, and you look at Tennessee and you kind of look at the things that people have said about him throughout the years. First of all, the first picture I saw of him, his veins are popping out his neck and he's screaming and yelling. And one of them, he's jumping on a Nebraska player when he's with Bo Pelini. So I'm like, this is the perfect guy.
Yeah, I've seen him at Tennessee where his forehead's just pouring down with blood because he just headbutted a guy with helmet on, and he's all he's got is that.
That's exactly what you need.
It is what we need. And the final thing I'll say to that, if you want good special teams, it does take a good coach. You need a unique player too to make it a culture thing. Like I always talk to Demorne Pearsonell about it, and like that stuff happens because it's like all of a sudden the guys realize like, man, if we do our job, Demorne is going to get to the house. Like we can make winning plays.
Maybe that's Andrew Marshall.
Yeah. So like some of it,
so.
Yes, we can, and I'll say, well, actually, this would be a good spot to go to break because I do want to talk a little more special teams with Ed Foley in particular, and kind of like what we thought the problem was. And just because we get on Mike Eckler, high energy, detailed.
Right.
What does that all mean? Because Ed Foley's been everywhere with Rule before, right? And it wasn't a problem. So we'll talk about that next. Don't go anywhere. Third segment, What's Brewing, Chancellor Brewington.
Are you a skilled mechanic looking for your next big opportunity? Constructors is hiring. We're looking for experienced mechanics to join our family-owned team. We offer competitive wages, great benefits, brand new service trucks, OEM-level diagnostic software, and career growth opportunities. Positions include lead and A-level mechanics for our shop and multiple field technicians. If you're driven and ready to grow with a company that's been around since 1908, apply today at constructorslincoln.com.
Discover the difference that expertise and experience can make in your real estate journey with Next Ag Appraisal and Realty. Whether you need an appraisal, sales, or farm management, Next Ag comes up with a solution with your legacy and goals in mind. Next Ag isn't just their name, it's your future. So why wait? Visit their website today at www.nextagrealestate.com or give them a call at 402-380-0432 and turn your dreams into reality. Your land, your legacy, their solution. Next Ag Appraisal and Realty.
1 Center Park Road.
Ready to spruce up your space? No matter what project is on your list, you can check it off at the Nebraska Builders Home and Garden Show, February 7th through the 9th at the Sandhills Global Events Center. With over 200 businesses under one roof, you'll find the latest in home innovations and experts to handle your dream projects. Admission is just $10, and children 12 and under are free. For more information, visit the Home and Garden Show online at hbal.org.
Ticket listeners know a dream team when they see one. At Applied Connective, we've been in the game for 20 years and have developed a team of world-class leaders in all things IT. From cybersecurity and Microsoft products to physical security, audio-video, infrastructure, business phone systems, and anything in between. We'll help you leverage technology to become your most secure, efficient, and profitable. Head to our website to check out real reviews and testimonials and sign up for a free tech consultation. We can show you where you might be vulnerable, inefficient, or overspending. It's a game changer, and it's totally free. Claim yours right now at appliedconnective.com.
Ever wish you had another light switch on the other side of the room on a dark night? How much better would you sleep at night if you had a ceiling fan in your room? The High Electric Service Department is here to make your electrical what-ifs a reality. Whether you're looking to replace some outdated light fixtures or brighten up your counters with under-cabinet lighting, High Electric can handle all types of residential electrical installations and services. Give Erica a call at 402-466-6606 or visit high-electric.com to get started.
Things that impair you come in many different shapes and sizes. Some are the shape of beer and liquor bottles. Others look like cigarettes but aren't cigarettes at all. These are the things we know impair us, the things our parents warned us about. What we're not always aware of is our new prescription or the over-the-counter medicine we picked up just for allergies or a bad cold. See, it doesn't just matter how much of a substance you take. If you are impaired, driving is deceptively dangerous. Don't drive impaired. Paid for by the NDOT Highway Safety Office.
Hi, my name is Molly Party. I'm a realtor with MP Dodge Real Estate. I'm a newly licensed agent and considered numerous brokerages before deciding on MP Dodge. I chose the company that gives me the most support in my new career, plus guidance and encouragement along the way. MP Dodge has a unique mentoring program for new agents. It's helped jumpstart my career and has a supportive management team and administrative staff. So if you're contemplating a career in real estate, look no further than MP Dodge. It will be the best decision you make.
Hey Husker Nation, this is Todd Euler, two-time national champion, here to talk to you about Window World Lincoln. At Window World, we specialize in replacement windows, doors, siding, and roofing. Whether you're looking to enhance the beauty of your home or increase its energy efficiency, we've got you covered. And here's the best part. We offer the best for less. Our team is dedicated to providing top quality products and exceptional service at affordable prices. We want to earn your business and make your home improvement dreams a reality. So why wait? Contact Window World Lincoln today at 464-7313 or visit our website at WindowWorldLincoln.com. Window World Lincoln, where quality meets affordability.
Are you ready for a new opportunity? Check out Sandhills Global. Join a dynamic team where your skills are valued and your career can soar. We offer full-time positions with a 4.5-day work week, competitive pay, excellent benefits, and a positive work environment. From IT and marketing to sales and finance, we're looking for talented individuals like you. Apply today at sandhills.jobs and take the first step towards an exciting future. That's sandhills.jobs. Don't wait, apply now.
Have you been injured in an accident and don't know where to turn? You need an attorney you can trust to handle your case with professionalism and compassion. The attorneys at Liberty Law Group understand that a call to an attorney is a call for help. If you've been injured, we want to help you. Liberty Law's experienced attorneys are committed to the pursuit of justice for those injured. Call Liberty Law and find out how we can help you get the compensation you deserve. Call 877-42-LIBERTY. Call the trial attorneys you can trust. 877-42-LIBERTY.
Back to What's Brewing with Chancellor Brewington on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. Powered by the Teammates Mentoring Program.
All right, welcome back in. A third segment before we get to the top of hour number 2 for What's Brewing with Chancellor Brewington. 402-464-5685. If you're still up, let us know. That is the Starter Human text line. I was setting the table here. I want to ask you this when it comes to special teams. So you look at Ed Foley. This would have been year 3 if you were to retain on staff with Matt Rule. But the thing about Ed Foley is we can point and blame him for all the special teams woes. He was with Rule at Temple. He was with Rule at Baylor. He was with Rule at the Carolina Panthers. And special teams was never the problem that it is here at Nebraska. Also, special teams at Nebraska has been a problem despite who the coach is. So what about Eckler is actually going to change this?
Can I say something controversial?
I hope so. It's sports radio.
Whatever you did before Nebraska, it's probably not going to work.
Wait, what do you mean by that? Whatever
coaching philosophy.
Whatever you did. Oh, yeah.
So if you think that, I'll just do what I did at whatever and it will work here. The answer from what I've seen and been a part of, the answer is probably no. Probably not going to work, right? And why is it not going to work? Because I think that place is has its own environment, ecosystem, own habitat process, there's its own life source there. Like it's completely different. And
it's a unique pressure cooker.
It's unique. And I think it has to be respected. And I think when people come in here and think that they can just do whatever they want or not so much do whatever they want, but
be ready to like
change,
learn even more and change.
Yeah, I think when you don't understand that you have to change at that place, like that place demands change. It demands a sharpening of a philosophy. It demands changing of a philosophy. It demands more. That's the thing. That's it, Harrison. It demands more. And so I'm not saying that.
Damn, we should put that above the door in the locker room.
It's more. You have to do more there. It's because guess what? There's always a dark cloud over your head. No, I don't care if you go 9-4 or 8-3 or 7-5. There's always going to be something over your head. And so I think understanding that and moving forward, I don't know if you can come in and that's why the year 3 philosophy for me, Matt Rule, I throw it out the window. I don't care about it when people say that. When people say year 3, he's supposed to win. I don't care about that. Right. I think if he gets the program into the right place with the right people around there, as a collective, they move in the right direction, they'll win. Whether that's year 4, 5, 6, 7, or 8, or 9, or 10, or it never happens. I think that's the common denominator. And I think that's what we've been missing is for someone to acknowledge like, wow, this place takes a lot to win. I can't really, there's some things I can do, but we need to get better at this spot.
Mm-hmm.
And I think the trail of that question, the chord, and you try to find out where the plug-in is the chord leads you to why is it? And I don't think if you try to wrestle that question, I think you're gonna get a headache. And I think
it's a paradox a little bit.
Yeah,
start asking that one.
Yeah, I think there's a whole rabbit trail with that one, right? I think you just need to examine what you need to do, right? And that's my take.
I like that, especially it demands more.
So special teams coming in, okay? Special teams, that's what we're talking about. Special teams coming in. What did Ed Foley do wrong?
That's just it.
That's the question. Okay,
I'm gonna give you my real quick answer.
Or what did he? Let's not say what he did wrong. let's say where did he fall short?
That's a better way to put it.
Yeah.
And I think you nailed it. I think this place is just weirdly unique to coach, not because it's in Nebraska, not because it's Lincoln. It's because of where the program's at in its state today.
Mm-hmm.
It's not necessarily because, especially with NIL, if you got money, you can get players. You got the best damn facilities. So it's not like, it's just really hard getting guys here. They don't have the same problem Nebraska basketball does. Their problem is
right.
Like, they have a tradition, they have an expectation, but they've been bad.
Although, Harrison, it's not, I would say it's harder than people think. So when you get the Roccos, the Pritchett's, the Dane Keys, and the Nazia Hunters, those are not, I would say, like Herculean efforts, but like the Rocco one is a big deal, and we'll get on that.
Yeah, and like to me, like sure, whatever, that might be true, but when you're getting top classes, top 25, but everyone's still outperforming.
Right.
So I'm not saying
got you
got to get a top 10 class. The classes they've been getting actually fine. So to me, it's not because it's in Nebraska. We're just not getting the personnel. We're getting the personnel. We're not performing. So it's that part of trying to understand where's that shortcoming, whether it's mental, coaching, X's and O's, and that's the rabbit hole that we got to go to break, because if we try to figure this out, we'll definitely go over. So we'll have to talk about that some more. What's brewing, Chancellor Brewington? We got an entire hour left. We'll talk about this more on the other side. Don't go anywhere.
Raising little ones is a big job, and you do your best to give them a good start every day. That means making sure they're well cared for while you're apart. You work hard, but it's not always easy to make ends meet. There may be help. Find out if you qualify for Nebraska's Child Care Tax Credit for working parents. You could be eligible for a credit of up to $2,000 per child on your next tax return. Learn more at nebraskachildcaretaxcredit.org. Brought to you by First 5 Nebraska and Nebraska Children and Families Foundation, and aired by the Nebraska Broadcasters Association and this station.
Empower a child today with the Teammates Mentoring Program. Hope is only a conversation away when you choose to share your talent, time, and heart with the child. Together, you can build a relationship based on strengths and chart a brighter future, 1 week at a time. Find out how you can be a mentor by visiting LincolnTeammates.org. Become what you needed as a kid by joining the Teammates Mentoring Program today.
This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. Also online at theticketfm.com.
On the internet.
KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket.
Hi, everyone. Kendall Warnock, A1 Automotive in downtown Lincoln. The last few years have been wild, but we've been here for you through all the ups and downs, and we'll be here for you when you need us the most. For all your travels and for your day-to-day driving. With winter conditions causing problems all over town, the last thing anyone needs this year is constant car troubles. Let us help you drive in peace and make sure you drive to work and to winter destinations safe. A1 Automotive, 11th and L Street downtown, always honest answers.
Ever wonder what it's like to work for a company that actually cares? At Lincoln Industries, they're revolutionizing local manufacturing while taking care of their most valuable asset, their people. When you join their team, you'll enjoy comprehensive health coverage, wellness initiatives that work around your life, and benefits that show they're serious about your future. Plus, you'll be a part of a proud manufacturing tradition right here in the community. Don't just take their word for it. Visit LincolnIndustries.com to see all their current opportunities and find out why their people love calling Lincoln Industries home.
Attention all wing fans! Buffalo Wings and Rings has daily specials that will make you want to stop in on all days of the week. Kids eat free on Mondays, and on Tuesdays, enjoy 89-cent boneless or traditional wings at a price that makes the whole family happy. And come back on Wednesdays for $1.29 chicken tenders all day long. Get to Wings and Rings today at 68th and O or in Williamsburg Village.
Ticket listeners know a dream team when they see one. At Applied Connective, we've been in the game for 20 years and have developed a team of world-class leaders in all things IT. From cybersecurity and Microsoft products to physical security, audio-video, infrastructure, business phone systems, and anything in between, we'll help you leverage technology to become your most secure, efficient, and profitable. Head to our website to check out real reviews and testimonials and sign up for a free tech consultation. We can show you where you might be vulnerable, inefficient, or overspending. It's a game changer, and it's totally free. Claim yours right now at appliedconnective.com.
Early break. As Kevin says, the old days were absolutely not better times. Lots of hardships. Life in 2025 is better than ever.
Oh, I love when we get these jokes back.
I love the joke. I love the joke. You're good.
Good one, Kevin.
You're hilarious, Kevin. You keep it up.
Early break from 6 to 8 every weekday morning on 93.7 The Ticket.
Start your Sundays off right with Jeff and Nicole Essink on Fitness Fanatics. Jeff and Nicole discuss health and wellness, how to achieve fitness goals, and more through the life of gym owners and gym goers. It's Fitness Fanatics from 9 to 11 a.m. on Sundays on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Shopping for new flooring is different today. Getting your questions answered, making the right selection, getting the best value, and installed quickly and professionally. Visit ostreetcarpet.com or shop our store. We'll answer all your questions and help you make the right choice. You'll be enjoying your new floor in just days for less than you'd pay elsewhere. Carpet, vinyl, wood, laminate, tile, and area rugs. We've got it all.
O Street Carpet.
1732 O Street. Family owned and operated. Always the best value.
93.7 The Ticket is proud to provide listeners with daily opportunities to win contests and prizes on our airwaves, and would like to take this opportunity to remind you of a couple rules. All participants must be 21 or older and must wait 30 days after winning a prize before participating in another contest. Once you win, you have 30 days to pick up your prize at the K&TK Studios, 1040 O Street in Lincoln, or your prize will be forfeit. Thank you for participating in our contest, and thank you for listening to 93.7 The Ticket.
Coming at you live from the heart of Lincoln, America. This is What's Brewing with Chancellor Brewington on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. Here is your host, Chancellor Brewington, powered by the Teammates Mentoring Program.
Welcome back in. Hour number 2. Chancellor Brewington, the host, is always to my left. Harrison Owens on the 1s and 2s for Ticket Weeknights. You guys can always join in via the text line, via the streams. Chancellor Brewington, we're talking more Husker football. Where do you even leave off on that final segment before we crossed it over?
Yeah, we were talking about Ed Foley.
Yeah, and what Mike Eckler,
And what the question was, I said, what did he do wrong? And then I rephrased it. Because I don't want to put it on a coach, right? I think you just look at the reality of it is you fell short somewhere, right? And maybe that's as a collective. But usually if something goes wrong, as in an offense or defense, you blame it on you quote unquote blame, but you give the responsibility to the coordinator.
There's
so
scapegoat's usually the coordinator.
Yeah.
If it's a really bad year, it's the head coach.
Yeah, and that's just kind of how the cookie crumbles. So I think the question to start the segment off is where did Foley, fall short or where did the special teams fall short? I think that's the better question. Where did the special teams fall short? And I think for me, pretty obvious it was detail. I don't think it was buy-in. I mean, I think there was maybe I didn't see like too many loafs, meaning like just lack of.
Well, the snap and hold's like the ultimate detail.
Yeah, and just the punt stuff midway through the year, it's just and late in the year, it's like it takes a bye week before Indiana to do the splits for the punt team. They do wider splits.
Brian Buschini making way too many plays for you. It's great that he was doing it, but you never want your punter to be the hero.
Yeah,
tackler in a special teams
right.
play.
Yeah, that's the sign
like a lot of leaky punt return.
That's the sign of a bad a bad special teams unit.
Your best hitter was Brian Bring the Boom Buschini.
Yeah, and it's not like you didn't have the pieces for it.
Just the execution was wrong.
Yeah,
or the detail, however you want to put it.
And I think you can get any decent athlete in college football to execute on special teams.
Yeah,
I mean, yeah.
You just gotta be an athlete. I mean, the special teams is the ultimate want to for me. You really just got to be detailed and like, I want to block this guy really bad, or I want to blow these guys up because I'm gonna go get that runner.
Yeah,
like it's all just if you're an athlete, then it becomes want to. There's nothing. It's not like a running back or a QB where there's just like little gifts that certain players have that give them benefits outside of like punt return or kicker. Like a lot of those groups are you just got to be an animal and want to do it.
You do. And I think we've had a lot. I think the walk-on program for Nebraska has provided a lot of that over the past years. I think a lot of guys got their shot during special teams practices and giving their first shots in games and their real first, action came from, a special teams unit, So I think there's a real special, I would say, connection, first of all, for Nebraska, people, for Nebraska walk-ons specifically, for the special teams. So I think within the special teams realm, there's an opportunity, of course, for playmakers to emerge and for people to find their path and to find their way within there. And so when I think of, a special teams coach coming in from Tennessee, high energy guy, seems like he's real detailed. Tennessee, I would say they graded out very, very well in the special teams category. So obviously, based off the philosophy I said earlier, that, if you're coming to Nebraska, you need to change it up a little bit. Maybe in special teams game, it's a lot more simple, right? But I still think if you were really applying yourself and, all these things were working at Tennessee and not only from coaching, but players and all that good stuff. I just think if you come to Nebraska, you're going to have to do double. Like, it's just whatever it is. I don't know what I don't know what it is, but I do know that, I think we're close though. I do think we're close just to getting there. And I think I think there's a straw that breaks it, and I think it's broken forever. And I think Nebraska kind of, the monkey's off the back and we don't think about it anymore. It's like this taunting goal that you have to literally go. I think you have to fight. It's like David and Goliath. You have to fight Goliath to get there. And I think every person who came through here had their own Goliath, right? I think they came through and had their own Goliath, fighting him, battling him. And I don't think we won, and that's why we didn't win on the field. And I think it doesn't start on the field. It doesn't even start in fall camp. It doesn't even start in spring ball. It doesn't even start in winter workouts. I think it starts way before then. I think it starts with the mentality and approach to it. So I think the Goliath needs to be fought within the individual, and then I think it spreads to the team.
Safety is that example for what Ohio State's problem is with Michigan as of late. Like, all of a sudden they can't beat Michigan, and now it's like every year.
It's a mental thing.
That's the thing where it's like, because Ohio State's talented. Don't tell me they're not less, especially this year.
Especially this past year.
Like, they were supposed to win, but now because they lost one, they're almost getting into what Nebraska's had forever, is the here we go again every time a big play happens versus Michigan.
Yeah, well, it's like the sliver of hope.
Yeah,
well, it's like the sliver of hope, but I think everyone talks about the sliver of hope for the victor.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody talks about the opposite of hope, which is fear.
Yeah,
which is fear.
There's been a lot of that here.
Fear for the other side.
Right.
So I think everyone that comes and let's use Nebraska now. Everyone that comes and plays Nebraska, they have a sliver of hope, no matter who it is. Georgia Southern, North Dakota State. Who else we play tight? UTEP. Like, it doesn't matter who comes in here. They have the sliver of hope. Why? They can look back on. I'm sure every time a team comes and plays Nebraska, they do a couple of things, Harrison, during team meetings, and I know one of them. They're gonna play the Georgia Southern tape.
Yeah,
and they're gonna play some of these close games. I don't know what happened before I went to Nebraska, but I'm sure there was some close game with some non-conference team.
Yeah, pick any of them.
Akron or whatever it was, right?
Yeah.
Like
Northern Illinois.
Troy. Boom. So they're going to play these tapes and say, this happens every year, boys. This happens every year. We're going to be the team. The UNI tape. I'm sure people watch that and we're like, oh, this is you see, if such and such would have cut up here, this would have been a 2020 ball game at halftime, right? Every coach, every program does it, right? And so I think the opposite of that is, I think if there's hope, there's fear probably on the other end that this could happen. And I think the commonality I've seen, and it's in a lot of stuff I read, is it brings up these stories of the thing that people fears the most usually ends up happening. That's the tough part. It's like the idea that is held in the mind that's either feared or revered. So you have the hope side, but also on the flip side, it's the fear side, will begin at once to close itself in the most physical forms available. So I think with Nebraska, for me at least, what I've seen while playing there was there's always that fear of this could happen, instead of the opposite, which is,
We
man,
can go do this.
Oh, we can
like
do
we might
this.
actually go knock off Ohio State.
Like we can do this
right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, that might be the answer to the voodoo psychology that's been plaguing Nebraska. Because that was one of the things. It's so annoying to talk about.
It is
and it's
annoying.
probably unfortunate for fans to have to constantly hear about, but it's just the reality of it. When you have a team that loses in such unique ways, you end up with speculating. It's the classic problem of like, when you don't have answers, you begin to conject,
Mhm.
and that's where conspiracies come from, because there's no answer. There's nothing valid to say like, well, this is why.
Yeah.
So when it comes to Nebraska football, you apply the same thing. We have all these games, new coaches, new, best facilities. We got elite training staff, new coaches. Maybe it's the position coaches. Maybe it's the OCs, DC. We got, new special teams coach. This will fix it. It's all that stuff, for whatever reason, doesn't ever seem to change what's actually happened inside the doors. Now, it did finally last year by one game. Now the hope is this actually over, or is this a blip in what has been the past 20 years? And I am on the side that I think we're actually in the right direction. I don't think this team's going backwards, especially you just get Rico Spindler out of Notre Dame, big transfer. You're doing well in recruiting. So I want to believe
really well.
Yeah. I mean,
Like,
the recruiting's cooking. So
that's I mean, I think about I would say my last year was the best transfer portal off season.
Yeah, I can give you that.
I mean, Casey Thompson, Trey Palmer,
like alone puts
O'Shawn.
Puts that into a category. Yeah, O'Shawn Mathis. You can say what you want to say, but
I mean,
wanted
numbers
more, but he
wise,
was a great recruit.
Everyone
I think
wanted
he was
him.
4-star
Yeah.
and coming out of TCU.
Yeah, he could have went to the league and got drafted round 3 the year before.
And he still got drafted after a bad year at Nebraska, because that's how good he was on tape for TCU.
Yeah, and so and I'm trying to think of anyone else we brought in defensively. No, offensively.
I want to say our secondary is pretty locked
Marcus
in.
Washington.
Yeah, we did
That was
bring it,
big.
and he was great for us.
And Isaiah Garcia Castaneda. You had some guys, right?
Mm-hmm.
You had some guys for sure. And so I think this year tops it. I don't know. I think I have a few question marks. I have like some guys circled that I need to see. I need to see if they're going to get better.
You know who I want to circle right now is Javen Wright. Not that can he be better? Can he be one of the guys?
Yeah,
on that black
or
shirt
the
team?
guy.
Yeah, even better,
because
at
the
that
ceiling's
position,
there.
It is
right, and I think
and he's healthy.
Yeah,
That's
and
big.
that's the biggest thing. And I think another guy out of strictly transfers, it's Pritchett.
Yeah,
I
I like
circle
that one.
him.
Mhm.
I like him, but how much better can he get? I'm not interested in the stories of this is how good he was and we expect him to be this good. No, we should get better every year. So I want to see how much better can you get in 1 year, right? Or in the off season and transition here, right? And so I think Pritchett is a guy where I want to see how much better he can get. I want to see how Dasan McCullough, how much the Oklahoma linebacker, I want to see how good he can get. If he can get better, right? Can he get better? How much can a guy like Dane Key and Isaiah Hunter, can they get better? Can they form a new connection with Raiola and this offense take a new level?
Yeah.
Like, okay, now
Sierra Wright on the defensive side of the ball.
Now
Like, I
we're
think he's
talking.
another.
I
Or
don't.
Charles.
You said what?
Charles? You like Charles more? Or just like faces on that defense?
I
They're gonna
guess
take some big
Andrew
leaps.
Marshall is an interesting name for me because, okay, let me say this. This might be a hot take, but it's okay. Sierra Wright. I don't know what it
seems like technique to me.
Well, yeah, I would say he covers people tight. He does.
Mm-hmm.
The only thing I'll say is if I would say a lot of the times if it felt like if they would have targeted him a lot more. I know it happened USC game. I think that was an awesome performance. I think if they would have targeted him a lot more, I don't think we would be speaking the same way. And that's just my personal opinion, just watching the tape.
So even better. Like, he's a guy that needs to get better.
Yeah, for
Like,
sure.
like, what's the-
For sure. Well, I think it's just a thing where size-wise it's not to his advantage.
Yeah.
Right. And I think there needs to be a step, of course, but I think I'm not gonna say luck because I don't believe in luck. I think he he did have some really, really good moments in the year. But when I think of the corners we've had in the past, I think of like Quinn Newsome, right? Like,
I mean, we've
how
had
much
some absolute dogs.
how much
back
trust
there.
do we have in a guy like that?
Cam Taylor-Britt.
Yeah, like with,
starting him with the Bengals still today.
yeah, like with Newsome, like he's a guy specifically where, I mean, you had, I can remember Purdue 2022. He got beat on a dig. He got beat one time at Illinois, but I'm counting on my fingers how many times he got beat. That's the thing.
Yeah, okay, I see where you're going with that.
You understand what I'm saying?
And with Sierra Wright, you can do that.
Well, no, I don't really know if you can do that a whole bunch with Sierra Wright.
Not a whole bunch, but you can get some this season.
Yeah,
and there's certainly room to improve. Like I can safely say that he's not on the level of what Newsome was or Cam Taylor-Britt. I'm not sweating. saying that.
Right. That's. I mean, I think anyone with a little bit of intelligence would say that, and that's no knock on him. But I just think this next year, I think there's going to be people that are able to do what he did. I think you brought in some guys that are able to do what he did last year. So I don't know if he's in a category by himself, and I don't know.
Okay, that's fair.
And I don't know what that means.
I mean, it's competition, which is a good thing, and I'm totally okay with that.
Right. And I think there's a real scenario that some corners we had last year aren't going to be the corners we have this upcoming year, and that's a real scenario. That's real.
Yeah.
And it's
especially if there's no spring game. I mean, you're gonna get the fall and stuff as well, but
and especially if there's a new defense coordinator, and of course he was a DB coach. But if they transition a little bit out of the 3-3-5, right, and they say, okay, we don't really have a rover that, a guy that fits that rover position. Let's kind of get out of this, right, and we'll kind of still run a 3-3-5 a little bit, but we'll be a little bit more traditional with the backers and the DBs, and maybe that eliminates one DB, and you go traditional kind of a true nickel. Right. And so that kind of eliminates that 3 corner system that they were doing last year. So it'll just be interesting to see what they do.
Yeah. I'm super curious. I think they'll stick with it. Obviously, if it's a good coach, they're going to roll with the personnel. If they don't have what it takes to run a good 3-3-5, I hope they change it up. But with the guys on the roster,
I don't think they have it though.
You missed it. What are we talking? Which position group are you really worried about?
D-line and I would say a rover.
D-line's easy to say because we just haven't seen much of the other guys. We've seen him in stints, especially when the offense was struggling. He had to get some rotations in there, but
I mean,
that's one where I can cast uncertainty, but I'm not willing to say we just don't got anybody because I don't know enough yet about those guys coming up on the defensive line this year.
Well, I mean, the presence that a 3-3-5, the 30 front, right? The 30 front meaning you have a 0 head up with the center and you have 2 ends, right?
Yeah, and we had a dominant ends that really helped that. We could get pressure.
Exactly.
Sometimes just 3 guys.
Yeah, and so, but I think it starts with the 0, and I think that was Nash, and so when you don't have that presence to take up a guard and a center and create double teams. Okay, Van Poppel, cool, but is he a true nose? I don't know. I don't think he has that body type. I think he's more of an edge. I think he would be more of the Ty Rob, right? That's more the comparison, not the Nash, right? So we don't really have that big human to occupy the guard center, and I think it will be really, really hard for undersized guys to try to do that. If you look at 3-3-5s across they'll put a big old boy, 320, 330, 350 in the middle, right? And it will, and that's kind of what it is, right?
Who's the guy on your squad, unsung hero at that position? Who's at the nose?
On 22?
I think so.
Nebraska 22?
Mm-hmm. Valentine?
No.
Valentine was a beast, though.
He was?
Yeah, that's one of those guys I always think. And if I'm getting last name correct, you guys can correct. If you're out there listening, feel free to correct me if I'm wrong. But I want to say it was Valentine. I'll quick look it up. But to your point, just a guy you couldn't move, did not get enough love. But if you actually watched him every game, you're like, damn, they can't. They can't run it up there no matter what. He's not the guy loading up the stat sheet. He's getting tackles when they try to go at him, but his job isn't getting to the backfield all the time. Occasionally he'll get a bull rush, but unsung on how good he was on the Nebraska team because teams literally They just could not move him. And that's all he did. And to your point, I think that is fair to bring up.
I think we have
especially in a 3-3-5.
I think we have a really good personnel for 3-4. I think we have perfect personnel. I think we have a 3-4 to where you got Van Poppel, Kainoa Davis, and maybe bring in one to transfer D lineman, bring him in, have him play D end, and then you got I would say at that edge or the outside backer, you put Deshaun McCullough there, kind of at that like quote unquote jack, that stand up guy. And then I think you have Javen Wright, Marquise Watson Trent, and you got Vincent Shavers, all three of those guys. And I think Javen could probably play nickel in that situation.
It feels like a breakout year for Shavers too.
Yeah, it's like like you have 3 backers who can really play football. 4 really. I mean, Deshaun McCullough, where are you going to put? I think what I've heard is he's more of the jack position, that he'll play more of the edge, be able to come off the edge. So like you got 3 real backers who can play real football and have 3 real different skill sets.
How hard is it? Like a defense that really tough to implement over the course of a summer?
No.
In spring? Okay, so it is doable. Like if Butler truly sees going to be an advantage, you think, like you looking at it with what you know, obviously Butler might see something different. If you go out and switch.
Yeah.
All right.
Wait, you said what?
Would you switch defense?
Yeah, for sure.
Okay.
For sure.
Just what do you switch traditional? What are you going with?
A 3-4.
Okay. So you're just going I'm totally fine with that. It works in the Big Ten. That's why you see just about everybody outside of us in the Big Ten. There's a few teams, but really that is Big Ten football. It's a lot of that traditional defense. We kind of took it with the 3-3-5, obviously bringing that from what he was doing. Tony White with Syracuse. You might be right. We got to go to break, but I wanted to get this guy's name. It was Vincent Valentine.
What was his year?
2015 is when that might have been his last year. Yeah, 2015 was his last year. He got down here in 2012 as a redshirt. But 320, 6'3", just could not move him. And then again, like if you don't have a guy like that and you want to run a 3-3-5,
good luck.
I think you might be hitting the nail on the head there. But that's going to be a problem. You know, I'd have to look at the schedule, but we're going to play Wisconsin. We're going to play Iowa. Like those teams are going to eat that up. You got anything else left, Dad, before we throw it the break here?
No, it's just going to be interesting to see what John Butler decides to do. But at the end of the day, I mean, you can make whatever work. You really can. But I think it will be easier. I think you're kind of fighting an uphill battle if you try to do 3-3-5, because I think first of all, there's a lot of things you kept super vanilla, super plain with Tony White, and I think there's some speculation, of course, on why that happened, but I think there might be some ways to add more pressure with 3-4. And I think you can get consistent pressure through that. And I think the 3-3-5, it was just really hard to get pressure sometimes. That was the flaw, I think, was pressure. And when you do send pressure out 3-3-5, you're banking your whole savings account that one guy wins.
Oh, you're telling me, man, I played college football 25. I stick to running the 3-3-5. You get burned so easy in that defense.
Right.
It's unreal.
Right.
Because, of course, it's not realistic. But, you switch it to traditional defense. I tell you what, I'm still getting scored on.
Might be some truth in there.
To get burned up. Well, I mean, there's some truth into it. Is like, say what you will. You play college football 25. Yes, certainly they're not going to act the way a real college football player would. But you can at least see where the weakness is on this defense during a still frame.
Right.
Like if the guys go here, that is certainly one thing. You might be onto this. I don't think you'd actually swing me into considering switching up to the defense. Last thing I'll ask, like if they don't do it during off season, impossible to do during midseason.
Yeah, that'd be chaotic.
Okay, that's what I was thinking.
Yeah.
So like you got to make the call here.
Yeah, it'd be like now.
And if you're the coach, you're making the call.
Yep, making it.
We'll see what the defense looks like. I might be able to clip that. All right. We'll throw the break here. What's brewing? Chancellor Brewington. 2 more segments. Talk to you in a little bit.
Hi, Sean Callahan here of HuskerOnline.com, inviting you to join us here on 93.7 The Ticket every Saturday morning now in our new time. We're on from 8 to 9 with the weekly Husker Online radio show. We'll give you the latest in recruiting. We'll talk about what's going on with both football, basketball, and we'll probably share a few stories from the inside. It's every Saturday morning right here on 93.7 The Ticket. It's the Husker Online radio show from 8 to 9 a.m.
At Parkview Animal Hospital in Lincoln, it's not just a professional care that sets them apart, but their warm staff and state-of-the-art facilities. Whether it's for a routine checkup or a comprehensive medical procedure, at Parkview, your pet isn't just another number, but a valued member of their caring family. Visit them at pahlincoln.com today and in person just south of 14th and Pine Lake Road. Parkview Animal Hospital, your pet, our passion. For happier, healthier furry friends.
We specialize in creating custom crafted decks, pergolas, patio covers, and more. Plus, our retractable screens, gazebos, and patio enclosures create the ultimate outdoor retreat. With over 50 years of combined experience, we're not just builders, we're creators of unforgettable memories.
Call them today at 402-730-6333 or visit blacklabelbuilt.com for a free consultation.
Let's turn your backyard dreams into reality.
Black Label Built, built to serve, built to last. If you're in Seward or Milford, listen up. Select Plumbing is now servicing your area with no trip charges from Lincoln. Select Plumbing works on a variety of issues for your home and business, including general plumbing, water heaters, faucet and fixture repair, underground sewer and water repairs, backflow testing, and more. Keep your property free from leaks and other issues. Call today for a free estimate, 402-560-6197. It's not just Lincoln, Waverly, and the surrounding area anymore. It's also Seward and Milford with no trip charges. Contact Select Plumbing to inquire at 402-560-6197.
Hi, everyone. Kendall Warnock, A1 Automotive in downtown Lincoln. The last few years have been wild, but we've been here for you through all the ups and downs, and we'll be here for you when you need us the most, for all your travels and for your day-to-day driving. With winter conditions causing problems all over town, the last thing anyone needs this year is constant car troubles. Let us help you drive in peace and make sure you drive to work and to winter destinations safe. A1 Automotive, 11th and L Street downtown, always honest answers.
Perch Merch is your one-stop shop for all your printing and promotional needs in Lincoln, Nebraska. They specialize in screen printing, embroidery, vehicle wraps, window wraps, print collateral, promotional products, and signage. At Perch Merch, they are committed to delivering high-quality products and exceptional customer service. Their experienced team of designers and printing professionals will work with you every step of the way to ensure that your vision is realized. Call for a quote today at 402-217-5212 or go to perch-merch.com.
Go Hog Wild Pet Barbecue.
It's $5.99 barbecue time. Hurry to Hog Wild for a complete barbecue meal that's only $5.99. Get a one-meat sandwich loaded with our award-winning barbecue, plus your choice of a classic side and drink for just $5.99. Upgrade your sandwich to beef brisket for just $1 more. Join us for lunch or dinner in Lincoln at 3210 Cornhusker Highway. Order online at GoHogWild.com.
But don't be late, we close at 8.
If you want to make new floor shopping easier, come to O Street Carpet. Hi, I'm Steve Carper. Our flooring professionals can help you choose the best flooring for you, your family, and your budget. We eliminate the confusion. Even better, you'll be enjoying your new flooring much sooner. No 6 or 8 week waits. We'll install right away and save you money on installation. Floor shopping made easy every day at O Street Carpet.
O Street Carpet.
1732 O Street. Family owned and operated. Always the best value.
Right now, when you drive by Honda of Lincoln, you'll see more than 200 new Hondas and over 125 pre-owned vehicles. Hi, Charlie Stone here, and with me on the line is Andy Goodyear of Honda of Lincoln. Andy, how does it feel to have so many vehicles in stock again for your customers?
Charlie, it feels amazing to see how excited our customers are. They love the ability to see, test drive, and take immediate delivery of the exact new Honda they're looking for.
Do you have some good offers to talk about?
We sure do, Charlie. We're offering financing as low as 0.9% APR up to 72 months, or great lease rates on every new Honda. It's the perfect time to drive away in the new Honda you've been dreaming of.
How about pre-owned, Andy?
We have over 125 pre-owned and certified pre-owned vehicles to choose from. Just about every make and model with prices starting at under $10,000.
Maybe it's time you experience the best, the Honda of Lincoln way of doing business. 27th and Yankee Hill Road or online at hondaoflincoln.com.
Are you ready for a new opportunity? Check out Sandhills Global. Join a dynamic team where your skills are valued and your career can soar. We offer full-time positions with a 4.5-day work week, competitive pay, excellent benefits, and a positive work environment. From IT and marketing to sales and finance, we're looking for talented individuals like you. Apply today at sandhills.jobs and take the first step towards an exciting future. That's sandhills.jobs. Don't wait, apply now.
Back to What's Brewing with Chancellor Brewington on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. Powered by the Teammates Mentoring Program.
All right, welcome back in segment number 2. We only got a couple more left to go here. You guys can always join in, as always, text line or via the stream. We haven't talked any NFL yet. And we got Chip Kelly, who's now part of the Raiders. We also got the Super Bowl. And if that's going to be fair or not, I don't know.
Part of Raiders? What do you mean part?
Chip Kelly's the OC for the Raiders
now.
Is
he OC now?
Yeah.
Okay,
so from Ohio State, back into the league.
Back into the league.
Pete Carroll as the head coach. I kind of like that. I think
for the Raiders?
Yeah. Pete Carroll, I mean, he's old, but I don't, he'd
be a fun dude to play for.
Well, he's one of those guys where he might be old. The dude don't act. Like he's not going to show up acting like he's old and doesn't have the energy.
Yeah,
like he is a high energy guy.
I think he might be convinced he's 25.
That's what I'm saying. Like he's one of those guys where people get scared of the age. He's one I'm not. Chip Kelly, the question for me with the Raiders, and I wonder how you feel about this. I think Pete Carroll, because we talked about it, he's really good to adjusting to his personnel. I don't know what Chip Kelly's going to look like if he doesn't have good talent. Like, what is he going to really struggle to adjust and do what the team needs? Because he's going to go down. The Raiders, I don't even know who they're going to have as quarterback. They don't have Devontae Adams. Offensively, they're very limited. So what's Chip Kelly going to do with the team that just is nowhere near?
Was it Aiden O'Connell?
Aiden O'Connell.
Is that who they were rocking with?
It was Gardner Minshew, and then they started rocking with Aiden O'Connell.
But Raiders have, I mean, they're going to get Cam Ward or
they'll get a quarterback for
or
sure.
Shador.
Mm-hmm.
Or no.
I'm not sure where they
are.
Pick.
They 4?
Let me find out so we can get this.
I might want to say they're top 4, but I don't know if they're 4 though, because if they're 4, then you're looking at the Milrow situation. I can't get on the Milrow train, bro. I just can't. But we'll get into that in a sec. We got to find out who's at 3.
Hold on. I have ESPN Plus.
Oh, Lord.
Raiders are 6.
Okay, never mind. So they're not going to get...
Because Titans, they're going to want a quarterback. Browns.
Who's 1? Give me 1 through 6.
Titans are number 1.
Titans are 1?
Mm-hmm.
Is that right?
Mock draft simulator. My Lord, I got to get this stuff ready before we start. No. I was selecting teams to order my mock draft, and Tennessee Titans were number 1 in that list for whatever reason.
I think Giants are first.
Let me get an actual...
I think Giants are first. I ain't gonna lie, because I'll tell you what. I think Cam Ward is gonna go number 1. I think it's safe to say he's the most talented, but I think Shador is
okay. No, this is the right order. Tennessee Titans are number 1.
Are they really?
Yeah, I mean 3 and 14. So Shador or Cam, they're gonna take one of them.
So I think Cam Ward gonna go there.
What do the Browns do?
Browns at 2?
Yeah, what do they do? Deshaun Watson has been a disaster.
You're not gonna get a quarterback.
I don't think so either.
Not
so you're
yet.
probably safe.
Not yet.
New York Giants.
Yeah, you definitely get.
They're gone. Patriots.
So those 2 are gone.
They're with Drake May, so they're even if they're not, they'll actually be safe. Jaguars, they got Trevor Lawrence, and
that's
a thing.
That's
and then the Raiders is 6. So if you're the Raiders, you're crossing your fingers that the Titans and Giants don't, but they will, and then you're just. Obviously, the Browns, Patriots, Jacksonville Jaguars are no threat. That's tough. There's 2 teams they can't have ahead of them that need a quarterback, and there's 2 teams that desperately need a quarterback ahead of them. So they're not going to get either of those guys.
Do you go and get Milrow if you're the Raiders? I'm not sold on it. I'm not sold. I don't think...
I'm not getting Milrow.
Do they have... I'm gonna look up. Do they have all the Raiders picks? Like, do they have a 2nd round pick, or do they have another 1st round? Because it would only make sense that you understand what I'm saying. Like,
so they got the number 6 pick overall, like we said. Where is their next pick? I don't think this gives me the 2nd round at all. So just 1 1st round pick. I'm not sure about the 2nd round.
Oh, they have picks in rounds 3 through 7, so they don't have anything till round 3.
Okay.
So that's a problem. Okay, so now that being said, okay, do we go and get someone in the draft? Now, do we get someone in the draft that we probably aren't going to like in the next year? And that's going to be a problem for us. That's the kicker. It's is Milroe going to help us or hurt us? Are we going to like Milroe after 2 years? Is it going to be Anthony Richardson with the Colts all over again? Or is it going to be I'm trying to think of a situation where you bring in a quarterback and throw him in the heat right away and it just doesn't work out. We've seen it countless times. And I'm not going to say Caleb Williams because I think there's going to be a bright spot next year.
Yeah, but with him, you could say it's not. It's like that'd be like blaming Adrian Martinez on some of those Nebraska teams.
Yeah, no.
The losses aren't indicative of Adrian's play.
Exactly. You can't do that. So I think there's I think what's tricky, I would say, and will trick people is that the emergence of rookie quarterbacks the past 3 years have been insane.
We didn't even get to see McCarthy yet, but he looked. I know it's spring.
Yeah,
but he looked good.
Great. He looked polished.
Bo Nix, I said the same thing in spring game, and it translated. Caleb Williams in spring, I was like, he's got some.
I still think
phenomenal plays, and so it did translate.
Yeah.
Spectacular plays. So
I mean, you talk about
Jaden Daniels.
Jaden Daniels. I mean, in a lane by himself. But also, I mean, you look at CJ Stroud and how he was performing, and so you can get caught in the trap and say they did it. You know, why can't the quarterback we select do it? Well, there's other variables. You know, you look at the way they played in college and kind of how that translates to the NFL.
That was a loaded class.
Yeah.
I mean, those were all heading into it. People are like, this quarterback class is
pretty
good.
nuts.
And now it translated in a way that I think people weren't even expecting. Like Bo Nix, Jaden Daniels was probably one, and Caleb Williams, people felt confident about. Bo Nix got a lot of slander. He played amazing. McCarthy got tons of heat. Again, I know it's just, the preseason, but he looked so good. And I'm like, he's accurate.
Mm-hmm.
That's probably the most important thing in the NFL is, are you accurate? And then once you get there, it's what's your speed look like at the NFL level when they're changing coverages on you all the time. Once they get enough film on you, was that just really good draft class? Or are we hitting a point where these quarterbacks are so groomed in college because the college game is getting so much better that we are just going to see more and more rookies come in there and light it up?
Yeah, I think it is there has to be a cause for the effect, right? So I think the cause, and here's the thing though, if you see it one time, it's a coincidence. If you see it 2 times, you look into it a little bit more. Now you see it 3 or 4 or 5 times, it kind of becomes a law. That now you're
trying to disprove it somehow.
Yeah,
you're looking for reasons that like why it's not true.
Yeah, so I think I think the cause I see is that there is an emergence of more complex offenses in college football, and quarterbacks are being responsible for more people. Quarterbacks are having to go through different reads and progressions, and a lot of NFL concepts are it's a weird time in football. I'll say this, Harrison, because not only is college taking from NFL, but NFL is now taking a lot from college. And so the two worlds are meshing at a point we've really never seen before, right? The concept overlay from college to NFL is something we really haven't seen before. The way college football playbooks influence NFL playbooks, right? And so, even with the hash margins, I mean, NFL teams find a way to still implement the same things, right? And do it in their own ways. I'm not saying they steal it very, very specifically, but they'll individualize them, of course. But I think that's a weird time. So I think the transition for the most important position, right, is quarterback. So I think the transition is becoming easier.
And I'll add to it. I just think that was a crazy class. I think both can be true. I think that class is really, really talented.
Now, if we see someone in this next draft class, they perform at an elite level.
But I can already tell you, looking at this class, we're not.
Really?
Shador, Cam Ward. I'm saying like those guys can, but I just don't think you're going to have the same level of QB play.
But
who are the next guys? Milroe is kind of the third one we're already hesitant about.
Well, I guess the conversation is did you think Jaden Daniels was going to be this good? And I think as a collective, I think the answer is no.
No, certainly not.
He was the lost Heisman of the last 10 years. Nobody really, it was like, yeah, he won a Heisman. They lost a bunch of games. He just went crazy and, threw up a bunch of, Hail Mary chuckers.
It was the Washington, Oregon game where I was like, or no, I'm not mixing that. That's Michael Penix Jr. We haven't seen him yet.
Yeah.
That's another guy we haven't seen.
We haven't seen him too. So I just, and if you were to say out of that, I mean,
forgot about him.
I mean, if you were to say out of that draft class, all the hype, all the things that were going on, you say Jaden Daniels is going to be the best rookie quarterback we've seen in the last 10 years. Can you say 20 years? Numbers wise?
Probably. You're gonna have an like even Caleb Williams' numbers were breaking rookie standards, and everyone was talking about how bad this guy was.
And the moments, but it's not only the yards that Jaden Daniels had, it's the moments he had.
It's the accuracy.
It's like
no interceptions.
It's like the down 18-24, come back and win it fourth quarter, tied ball game, find the dude in the back of the end zone. We're down, Hail Mary throw to win the game. It's like 4 weeks in a row this is happening. And it's like, okay, there's something different about him. Okay, we can all agree that there's something different about him. And I think the moment we see it again in a rookie quarterback, now you got to point your finger somewhere, right? At the individual, yeah, but what's going on in college? Like, what's going on? Compare it to what was happening in 2014 in college, where it took guys 3 to 4 years to get acclimated to NFL, and now guys are coming in ripened and they're in form right away. So I think there is something happening in college.
Yeah, I know. Like, to wrap it up, they always use the obvious example. Like, it's been heading that way forever. You can go back. Like, I mean, they'd go in the NFL, they'd go to, before a practice or before something that sucked, they'd have some beers in the locker room or a few beers, and they'd be like, let's not drink water so that our first beer we can get really drunk, And these are real stories told by like multiple, the stuff they did.
Yeah.
You saw it in every sports, like the NBA. Like, there's also just more professional than ever. And like the jobs are so much harder to get than ever. Like, if you're really going to be drinking a beer like that, the chances of you sticking out in the NFL are so low. So that's also part of it. Like, just the development and the not messing around kind of behavior that's also been growing. We'll throw out the break here. I want to talk about the officiating of the NFL, in particular the Super Bowl, if you're worried about it. Won't preview Chiefs Eagles because we'll have plenty of time to do that as the week goes by. But I do want to just start on the officiating, to set the table here. Don't go anywhere. One more segment. What's Brewing with Chancellor Brewington?
Nebraska Veterans Aid is here for veterans and dependents facing unforeseen financial emergencies. Get assistance with food, fuel, shelter, clothing, transportation, and even funeral and medical expenses. If you're a veteran facing a financial emergency, apply for Nebraska Veterans Aid through your county veteran service officer. Learn more at veterans.nebraska.gov/NVA. Sponsored by the Nebraska Department of Veterans Affairs, aired with the Nebraska Broadcasters Association and this station.
Early break. Joe says, Kevin says, the old days were absolutely not better times. Lots of hardships. Life in 2025 is better than ever.
I love when we get these jokes back. I love
Good joke. Good
I love
one.
that joke. You're a good one.
Good one, Kevin.
You're hilarious, Kevin. You keep it up.
Early break from 6 to 8 every weekday morning on 93.7 The Ticket.
It's time to elevate your game, just like Stevens & Smith Construction does for your concrete needs. As your full-service concrete contractor, we deliver solid results every time. From singles to doubles, fighting for inside position to scrambling reversals, we know how to pin down quality and slam expectations. Stevens & Smith Construction, a proud sponsor of Takedown Tuesdays on 93.7 The Ticket, where Husker wrestlers bring you all the action. Don't stall. Stevens & Smith Construction is here to help you build a concrete foundation for the win. Check us out at www.stevensandsmith.com, because stalling is a penalty and winning is the only option.
Shopping for new flooring is different today. getting your questions answered, making the right selection, getting the best value, and installed quickly and professionally. Visit ostreetcarpet.com or shop our store. We'll answer all your questions and help you make the right choice. You'll be enjoying your new floor in just days for less than you'd pay elsewhere. Carpet, vinyl, wood, laminate, tile, and area rugs. We've got it all.
O Street Carpet.
1732 O Street. Family owned and operated. Always the best value.
Load up on meat and more this winter at the Mercado by Certified Piedmontese. This week's special through February 11th is $2 off burgers, limit of 2, 20% off sauces and spices, and 5 pounds of 75-25 ground beef for $20, limit of 2 while supplies last. Locations at 84th and Havelock, 30th and Yankee Hill, and now 85th and Old Cheney in Lincoln, or 168th and Maple in Omaha. Get to the Mercado today for the best meat in town.
What's it take to be a mentor with big brothers, big sisters? It takes 30 minutes and a cup of coffee. A video game, best 2 out of 3. It takes sharing thumbs up emojis, clapping emojis, and loaded nachos at halftime. That's how you make an impact on a young kid's life. So go on, share a few hours a month, because mentorship may sound huge, but the truth is, it takes little to be big.
To learn more, volunteer, or donate, go to bbbslincoln.org.
Hello.
Angela, we have to break up.
But why?
Because you're a robot and I'm just a guy trying to get better internet.
It's Aloe Fiber, isn't it? I always knew you wanted faster speeds. My contract isn't good enough for you.
Face it, Angela, they let me talk to real people.
Press 4 to break my heart. Oh wait, you already did.
Visit aloefiber.com to switch today.
Are you ready for a new opportunity? Check out Sandhills Global. Join a dynamic team where your skills are valued and your career can soar. We offer full-time positions with a 4.5-day work week, competitive pay, excellent benefits, and a positive work environment. From IT and marketing to sales and finance, we're looking for talented individuals just like you. Apply today at sandhills.jobs and take the first step towards an exciting future. That's sandhills.jobs. Don't wait, apply now.
What's it take to be a mentor with big brothers, big sisters? It takes 30 minutes and a cup of coffee. A video game, best 2 out of 3. It takes sharing thumbs up emojis, clapping emojis, and loaded nachos at halftime. That's how you make an impact on a young kid's life. So go on, share a few hours a month, because mentorship may sound huge, but the truth is, it takes little to be big. To learn more, volunteer, or donate, go to bebignow.org.
Back to What's Brewing with Chancellor Brewington on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. Powered by the Teammates Mentoring Program.
All right, welcome back in. Final segment, What's Brewing with Chancellor Brewington. Don't got a ton of time left for it, so I'll just be direct. Chancellor Brewington, is the NFL rigged?
God, dog, it's the NFL rigged. Oh. I think I'll give you my professional media trained answer. I think the NFL has teams that they profit more off of and can create more stories and more narratives and obviously boost viewers and boost sales, boost revenue based on certain names and certain teams. So if they can do certain things to help those teams get in there, to help those teams win during the regular season and help them win in the playoffs, that boosts the brand of the NFL and gets them more money. So if your conclusion from that, my answer is yes, then it's a yes.
Yeah, I mean, that's a great answer because you're right. Like if they got to push those teams. They're going to go bankrupt if the Chiefs don't win. So they need this stuff. NFL's weak on money. They got to push. Like a push for the big team matchups because everybody knows the NFL's viewership's just been going to the dumpster and they're hurting in revenue. No, it may be massaged at the most. It's not rigged, I don't think.
Oh, it's not. This was sarcasm.
It was sarcasm. Yeah, dude. The NFL's drowning in money. People are greedy though.
I was about to say.
So the argument
the NFL's
no,
low
they're
on
just
cash?
chilling. So like the argument that brings in more revenue is always like they
So
make
he disagrees.
over. Not entirely. It's so bad. It's bad enough to where I can't just totally dismiss it. But if it's real, I'd say it's more so unintentional subconscious bias. If, like, you know what I'm saying? The Chiefs win all the time. You know the Chiefs are a good team. And when you're when you're reffing the Chiefs, especially at home, we see it in Big Ten basketball all the time. You really think like Big Ten teams are just that bad at playing on the road? Some of it, yes. Some of it, the refs are human too. And whether they're trying to or not, the environment kind of dictates subconsciously what they're thinking.
Yeah, let me ask you this. If you look back, let's say 20 years later, look back in hindsight, you look at the numbers from this team. You don't know anything about Patrick Mahomes. You don't know anything about this defense or anything. And you say they went, what'd they go during the year? They have like 3 losses or something like that? One loss. Okay, perfect. They go 15-1, and they make the championship, and they're probably going to win, right? So, and you pull up the numbers and say this quarterback did this, and this. You'd say no way. You'd say no way. You would say no way.
And then you'd be like, who's this head coach? Andy Reid. Oh, what's his record? Well, he is the most winning coach all time at the Chiefs, and he is the most winning coach all time at this team, which is the Eagles. He's also in the Super Bowl right now. Oh, and he played with Tyreek Hill, and he played with one of the best tight ends in the league ever. And Travis, say what you will about all these things, because we heard this with Tom Brady, right? Tom Brady, it's rigged.
No.
It's rigged. Yeah, we did. Absolutely. That's not cap. That happened. Everyone was so mad. Deflategate was the only thing that was even close to real, and the ball was a little bit deflated.
I don't think we've seen. There's been some blatant things during this regular season that's been like, this is every week. This is every week something is happening.
The worst footage, I'll say this. The worst footage I saw, that was like maybe, there's that one point in time where they were trying to get it on 4th down. Maybe it was 3rd down. I think it was a 4th down. They tried to go for it. Josh Allen's clearly over. I'm sure you know exactly what play I'm talking about. Josh Allen, by all means, on every camera, it looks like he made it. He crossed the plane. But because you can't see the ball, you can only see Josh Allen's head, who's upright and standing well past the marker. They're walking to the line to spot it, and the one ref looks at Josh, and Josh isn't seeing it. So he looks at the other left running in, and he throws it to that ref, and the ref that was trying to get it from Josh shakes his head, like immediately before the guy even spots it. That's the only weird stuff I've happened. I'm like, why would that ref already know it's short? And that's super speculative.
Well, I mean,
because it's just a simple head shake. Like, it could have been over anything.
You know what I'll do next time, Harrison? I didn't know we were going to get into this. I'll bring a cut up for you.
Oh, okay. The bulletin board with the red yarn and the pictures, and you just like connecting everything?
A film cut up.
Oh, okay.
A film cut up of all the mishaps this year.
And I'll do on with Tom Brady.
No, but the Tom Brady one is like, it was during a new era in college. I'm not in college, in NFL, where quarterbacks weren't getting touched, and it was the beginning of it. And so, I mean, he got the treatment that everyone gets nowadays. It was just the first. But he doesn't agree.
It's not even that. I'm just not willing to jump off the cliff with you, you know.
No, I don't jump off the cliff.
Because the NFL really sucks. If I admit it's rigged, what the hell am I excited for the Super Bowl for? You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Like, I have to accept that one of my most favorite things ever is just, you know, might as well call it WWE. That's where I'm at.
I definitely don't watch that.
It's not bad. I recommend it.
It's fake.
Well, of course it is. Shh, people don't know that. All right, Brewington, final words. What do you got?
Final words. Get some sleep, read a book, and believe in yourself. That's all I got.
I like it. I want to add on to it. We can wrap up with just that. This has been What's Brewington, the first one of the new 2-hour What's Brewing with Chancellor Brewington. Shout out, C-Brew. As always, Harrison runs on the 1s and 2s. We'll do it all again tomorrow. See you then.
Big box stores are tempting for buying equipment for your